I was 12 at the time this event happened. It was the first day of summer holidays, when it was okay to have a lie-in and not have your mum and dad yell at you for it. I woke up at 10 a.m, got myself ready and went downstairs. "Good morning, love," my dad said as I sat down and helped myself to some cereal. I smiled and said, "Morning." After I'd finished, I washed up the bowl and spoon I'd been using and put them away. I got my bag and said, "Bye, Mum. I won't be back too late." "Okay, be careful." "Love you." And I left the house and went to the park, where Amy, Sophie and I had agreed to meet that day. The park we met at was Stony Brook Park, which is adjacent to the local cemetery. We never thought anything of it really. But after everything that had happened to the three of us, I was more cautious of who I spoke to from that day on. I met Amy and Sophie, and we sat there playing with toy mobile phones. As at 12 years old, none of us were allowed real ones at our age. Under the oak trees, about a half a mile away from the cemetery gates. We pretended to call the cute boys from our class and ask them out on dates or to help us with our homework, when all of a sudden we heard, "Please may I play?" The three of us looked up, and there stood a little girl. She looked younger than us. She had long black hair, deadly pale skin, wore a crimson dress that looked like something you'd wear as Sunday best. You know that one outfit you go to church to on Sundays, the only day of the week where you made an effort to look good in God's eyes. "Yeah, sure," Sophie said. She smiled and sat down with us. We hadn't seen her before. Maybe she was new in town. Or she was one of those kids who was kept locked away by her parents and was only just given her first taste of freedom. "My name's Emily Fellow," the little girl said as her introduction to us as we continued to play. Emily let out a blood-curdling scream. We all looked up at her and she had changed. She was still screaming, and as she looked down at her dress, it started becoming a darker shade of red. She sat there crying and screaming in agony. The three of us stood up and ran home as fast as we could. None of us even dared to look back, just in case Emily was behind us, in case she was coming for us. When I got home, I slammed the door shut and sank down to the floor in tears. My mum heard and came rushing to me. "Sweetheart, what's the matter?" she asked me. Through my tears, I told her about going to the park and Emily and everything that had happened. Then she looked at me and said, "You'd better come to the living room and tell Daddy." So I told my dad, and then my parents both looked at me. Something was going on, but I wasn't sure what though. They were being rather distant with me. But then my dad finally plucked up the courage to tell me this. What I heard next will stay with me for the rest of my life. "Emily was your cousin. You won't remember her, but you were only a baby when..." "What, Daddy?" "You were only a baby when Clive Stockwell killed her right where you, Amy and Sophie were playing today. She was 10 years old. Poor child. Her death shook the whole community, and now it seems that she can't move on from her killing. If she's shown herself to you today, on the anniversary of her death." I just looked at them blankly. This is a lot for a 12-year-old girl to take in. Then I looked in the mirror, and I saw Emily staring at us all.